We all want different things. These days, we're used to getting them.
We are consuming more and more. Demand is going up and up and up.
Ultimately, just about everything we need relies on the ground beneath our feet.
Your mobile phone, your laptop, they've all got minerals in them and couldn't function without them.
And more people are demanding their share.
China and Brazil and Russia, I cannot foresee a reduction in demand. The population of the world is 7 billion.
So how can we all get what we need?
Earth observation is becoming a vital tool.
Satellites,
We've never really had the level of technology we have now.
airborne technologies,
Data is getting better and better.
ground-based technologies.
How do we do it safely and cleanly?
New ways of thinking,
We've put together a partnership across Europe.
new ways of engaging,
We're working with people who look at the socio-economic aspects.
new ways of communicating.
We're trying to make sure that everyone with a stake in this issue talks to each other.
How do we make sure that the mistakes of the past aren't repeated?
The EOMiners project is all about having more information about these mine sites and their operations, and so we hope that by sharing that amongst all the stakeholders, better decisions will be reached in the future.
It's a tremendous template.
In a computer room in Germany, scientists get their first look at geological data streaming live from Earth orbit.
Satellites that are orbiting the Earth see the regional overview, but then zoom in and look in greater detail at areas that are identified as problems.
Meanwhile, above the clouds, an aircraft bristling with technology is making a detailed survey of the ground below.
Sensors on aircraft and allow you to get a lot more detail about what's happening in terms of the minerals that are exposed and whether they are affecting local people.
And on a hillside, a technician checks equipment, taking real-time readings of subsurface behaviour.
Satellites and aircraft are very good at telling us what's going on at the surface, but to really get a handle on what's going on below the surface, we need to use ground-based techniques.
This is the sharp end of EOMiners. Geologists, data experts and mining interests combining their expertise and technology in a project that crosses continents. The task to reshape the worldwide search for minerals.
From the exploration phase through development of the mine, mining itself, but particularly looking at what happens after a mine closes.
The combination of these three types of data can only be helpful.
And therefore help people deal with it better.
This data is getting better and better, and it is giving us a tremendous new opportunity to look at the world in different ways.
And they know it works. Over the past few years, detailed research work has been carried out on 3 very different ground sites in South Africa, the Czech Republic and Kyrgyzstan.
Using a wide range of technologies, we're learning a lot about those specific sites, but we're also learning enough about the generality of these techniques that we could apply them elsewhere in Europe or further afield.
They are harnessing expertise from right across Europe, and it encourages countries to bring the best out of themselves. Then other parts of the world, I think, will look on this approach and they will see it as a way forward.
But EOMiners is far from just a mineral surveyor. In a world increasingly aware of the environmental concerns mineral extraction brings, EOMiners is committed to giving a voice to everyone involved, to get everyone affected by mining to talk.
The time is gone where we can mine anywhere without social consent. There's so many people everywhere in the world now that we've got to win communities that on board before we mine.
We're trying to make sure that everyone with a stake in this issue talks to each other. So we're setting up meetings between the industry, the people who live locally to the mine site, scientists, and also pressure groups interested in the environment, for example, to look and see if we can find a common approach to some of these issues.
Communities that live in future mine sites or around future mine sites, or become the workers of future mines, or become the consumers of mining products. They have every right to be part of this.
We have really looked at what local people and what the mining industry require, and we've tried to develop techniques to measure those things. The EOMiners project is all about having more information about these mine sites and their operations, and so we hope that by sharing that amongst all the stakeholders, better decisions will be reached in the future.
New approaches, new ways of thinking, new ways of engaging, new ways of communicating. Actually trying to make sustainable development real and not just a piece of rhetoric, where we bring together decision makers, affected communities, environmental people, and the scientists and researchers.
No one pretends mineral extraction is simple or easy, which makes the role of EOMiners even more vital. Around the world, it's developing trust in its technological and scientific excellence that will give everyone involved in these major developments the information they really need, and combining it with a forum for business, government and communities on the ground to put in place the right safeguards and make the right decisions.
I'd like to think that 10 years from now, some of these technologies will be used routinely by mining companies and by other organisations with an interest in mining issues.
Other parts of the world, I think, will look on this approach and they will see it as a way forward.
I'd like to think that the kind of conversation we've started between the industry, local people, other stakeholders such as NGOs will be a lot more developed, and it will be natural for these people to talk to each other when considering the development of a mine.
It's vital that the researchers and the community work together well.